Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2018 edition of Havenshire Holidays, the walkthrough tour. It won't be as elaborate as the other years because not a lot has changed, and also it's cold out here and windy, so I apologize for the wind noise. We had on New Year's Eve wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, so some of the stuff got tossed around and is not set quite right, but at this point I'm going to take the show down today, and it's not worth fixing everything completely. So to recap, I have Light-O-Rama S4 Showtime Suite software. I use Light-O-Rama residential controllers as well as E131 pixel controllers. One of the new things I did this year is here's a pixel tree. (16 by 50) with a 40 node star, just the basic star. The star and the guy wire kit was from Boscoyo Studios. The strips were from Light-O-Rama, but they're the same as the Boscoyo. It's a 180-degree tree. The guide wires, I use ground anchors from Amazon. Use turnbuckles for final fine-tuning. It's just a 10-foot EMT pole. There's the Boscoyo topper. And this isn't focusing so well. But there's the back side of the star. Didn't really move around much, so I guess I did a good design with the zip ties there. The ends are staked in with just camping stakes from Harbor Freight. And all my pigtails and extension cords are DIYLEDExpress, along with the bullet pixels. Mounted the Pixcon 16 in a CG 1500 box, 12 volt. And then it also, so E131 comes out the side of the garage there, comes down here to the Pixcon 16, and then one DMX output runs back to our Mickey ears here, which is Cosmic Color Pixels Light-O-Rama with the running in DMX mode. Still had the same LED cheap lighting from Walmart, but this will be the last year for them. It got really bad. As you can see, the sections that wouldn't light, I just bunched them up. At nighttime you can't tell that there's a section bunched up, but we got 3 years out of them, that's it. So you get what you pay for. 90% off. You got them for like $2 each a roll, so not the end of the world. I still have a bunch of reindeer and snowmen and stuff that I put out. But again, those, same thing, they're fading too with the incandescence on them. So I'll have to decide if I'm going to just toss them or donate them to someone else who could use them. On the side, still have the 4 arches, 8 sections each, run off the 2 residential controllers under the bags. So if I get rid of the deer, these will be the only incandescent props left. But these even caused problems this year with GFI trips. So I'll have to think about if I want to just get rid of these as well. New I added this year is Nativity. My father-in-law built this nice box for it. It's got 2 spotlights on it. and some basic lights, and it stays lit overnight. Still a bunch of deer. With the 65-mile-per-hour winds last night, they still blew over. I used cheaper stakes. Happy New Year! I tried using the garden stakes that were cheaper, but they didn't hold up. So definitely got to use the U-post stakes. Didn't do anything different with the twig trees. Still 8 of them. $170 nodes each. Still worked out good. I think I moved around a little bit from the wind, the 60-mile gusts last night, but not too bad. You can see some of the twigs got pushed up. The roof line held pretty good. There's some sections that are dangling off that didn't hold. There's supposed to be a section right up here that goes down here for the outline. You can see that fell off. It was held with binder clips. But I mean, 60-mile-per-hour gusts, there's not much you can really do about that. Still got the main Falcon F16v2. Powers the matrix. And that window. And that window. So I have 2 of the differential receiver boards. One's on the side of the garage there. Does the outline for the garage. And does the gutter line for the garage and the upper roof line, ridge line. Then I have another receiver box up there. Does the upper gutter line and roof line. Does that window. Does that window. Also off then the main one also has a line that runs up for that window and that little section there. And then 2 more differential receiver boards that do the pixel trees. So each receiver board has 4 outputs. So I did 4 twig trees and 4 twig trees. Each one has power and data coming off of the board, and then 125 or 120 nodes in up the tree. I power inject from there. So each board has the 4 data ports coming off, and then 4 injection ports. Again, all DIYLEDexpress cables and pigtails. And you can see how I spliced in the power injection. This is the green one here that goes down in. Just so that way up at the top there's not a injection cord. It's just the single nodes all the way up at the top. The nice thing about the bullet strands is when I have to splice out a bad one, it's pretty easy to do, because actually all I'll do is I'll just take out the bad node and then solder, and I won't even put in a new one. So actually some of these aren't 170 node trees, they're just 168 or 167. Every time I lose one I just shrink it down. Can't tell the difference. I used to use controller stands, but I found it was just easier just to put a stake in the ground. So you can kind of see. That way it's not leaving as much an imprint on the grass. Not a big deal though. See my other videos to see what's under in the box. No one felt like wrapping trees this year with the super strands, because I got 4 trees, 2 on this side and then 2 on that side, but everyone always said they hated that job the most, so I decided to take all those super strands and make my first mega tree attempt at one. It's a 16-foot trampoline frame that I got for free that someone just wanted disposed of, so I went and picked it up and just had to do that. And then it's a Lowe's top rail fencing pipe, 21 foot. I cut down to, it's like 15 or 16 foot. The dimensions didn't come out right because there's actually extra slack on the bottom. You just had to wrap them. And the topper slid down. It's supposed to be higher up. But now if we do it again just like this, there's room for a star or a snowflake or something up top. So there's 16 strands of 3 colors each. So there's 3 residential controllers meant to do for 48 channels. So each color, each strand was separate. And I don't think I really have a lot. They're all just 50 count LED strings. From far away it does look full, or not terrible, but up close it looks like I really don't have a lot of lights on there. So I don't know if I really want to bother setting up for 48 channels on this tree next year. Maybe I'll just do 16 channel tree or something like that. Plus then I didn't have extra channels for the strobes that I have. Or then if I put a topper on, need a channel for that. I did use the Boscoyo Mega Tree kit, but I didn't use all of it. I mean, there's the guy wire kit, which worked out okay, except for actually that was sliding down. So I had to drive a bolt underneath. Sorry, this camera's not focusing pretty good here. There we go. Drive a bolt so it wouldn't slide down much, but then the kit came with their cables. Again, I used the Amazon screw and ground anchors. I don't know if they're the 8-inch or 12-inch, I don't remember. And then turnbuckles from Lowe's again. So I have the only Light-O-Rama signal coming out from the house. Comes through to here, hits the 3 controllers, boom, boom, boom. Continues out. The cable out to the arches. So that's the only Light-O-Rama protocol running out, is just that one line. I do have a second E131 line that comes out and goes to the Falcon controller. So there's different ways obviously I could have done it. The computer's still in the basement. The network router still in the basement right there. So that's 5 residential AC controllers. I do have a 6th controller that wasn't working quite right this year, so I think it's got a bad RJ45 that we'll have to mess around with. So maybe next year I'm thinking about going back to doing some of the old way of doing it with more stuff on channels, because right now all the fencing is on just static on, all the deer were static on, the nativity was static on, the 2 and 2 signs. But I think it's kind of more fun when you do different, put everything on a channel. So we'll see. Other problems I had this year, it was a very wet, soggy year. The ground has been really tough to work with, making mud everywhere. I've got these, so I've got 2 for the differentials, I got the 4 lines that come out. You know, one goes up to there, one goes to the garage, but then the other 2 to the yard right here. I was using the cheap Amazon cords, really thin. I think they were giving me problems. Plus, right out into the yard, they'd get stepped on. So I might look for better cords for next year. Again, I'll probably keep the pixel trees as is. They were good. Not looking to add or do anything different with the house, I don't think, other than for the outlining. I think I could add that post and that post for the square nodes, the WS2811 nodes to add onto that. We'll see about the mega tree if I do it again or not. And what else? I just keep on moving everything every year, and that makes it difficult, but I'm probably going to use S4 again. Maybe I'll use S5, but I think I'm going to stick with Light-O-Rama. The Mickey ears. Last year I had them hanging from this tree. This year I just put them on the ground there. Some big, taller posts. Doesn't move. I think the tree, it's a 10-foot high, 2-inch spacing on strips, and space to viewer is not that bad. I mean, it's not that close to the road, but I think if someone was right up on here, it's hard to see everything that's going on over here when you got it there. So I'm thinking about putting it back further, like here. We'll see how that goes. Alright, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed.